Hello everyone. First of all, I just want to say that I hope you and your families are safe and healthy. I know we are in the middle of a very strange and uncertain time, and I hope you and your families are doing well. In today's presentation, I'm going to talk about the one subject that the entire world is talking about, and that is coronavirus or COVID-19. Now, I'm sure you already know a lot about the virus and the pandemic, and you are probably tired of hearing about coronavirus because right now the coronavirus pandemic is basically the only subject on the news, and it seems to be the only subject people are talking about. The objective of this presentation is to review some important vocabulary in English related to the coronavirus. Hopefully, some of the things we examine today can help you talk about the coronavirus in English and better understand news in English about the coronavirus. So, here we go. First of all, with respect to vocabulary about the coronavirus, much of the important vocabulary we use to talk about coronavirus in English is very similar to the vocabulary in Spanish. Maybe almost the exact same words or same words with different pronunciations at times. So you will hear people say coronavirus, sometimes people say the coronavirus, or COVID-19. All of these are used in English in the news to talk about coronavirus. Another important word you hear in the news about coronavirus is outbreak. So an outbreak is when something kind of explodes. An outbreak usually refers to a disease. Maybe a disease kind of explodes from one area and spreads among many people. Another word, again similar to Spanish, is pandemic. And a pandemic is a disease that is present throughout maybe an entire continent or the entire world. Often so, the coronavirus is now a pandemic because it is in the entire world. Another very important word you hear in the news when we talk about coronavirus is the word spread. Spread is a very important word in the context of coronavirus, and it is used as both a noun and a verb. So the verb to spread means to extend. For example, you can spread butter over bread, or in this case, the coronavirus is spreading across the world and spreading around the world. So if you use spread as a noun, you might hear people say things like, we need to stop the spread or the extension of coronavirus. Another word we hear, and I think it is also in the Spanish media, is lockdown. Lockdown is sometimes used interchangeably with quarantine. It refers to the current state in which businesses are closed and people are staying home. So, let's take a look at a few more key vocabulary words for talking about coronavirus and understanding news about the coronavirus. Right now in Spain and in many countries around the world, we are in a quarantine. To be in quarantine means to be in confinement or isolation, in this case at home. So during the quarantine, we have to stay in our homes. In short, we have to stay home and leave only to do things which are essential, like going to the supermarket for food. Next, a general overview of coronavirus. Again, information you are familiar with, but now presented in English. The coronavirus affects the respiratory system and spreads very easily when we cough or sneeze. Achoo. coronavirus has the potential to be very dangerous. The people whose health is most at risk are people who have pre-existing medical conditions or people who are older. It is important for us to stay home in order to help protect people in our communities from coronavirus. Because coronavirus is affecting people all around the world, many countries, like Spain, are in a state of emergency. Governments around the world are telling people to stay at home. Some countries, like Spain, have more quarantine restrictions than other countries, like Sweden, where people are allowed to do more things. My friends and family in the United States are also having to stay home. However, in America, the rules are not the same in all parts of the country. The larger cities, or metropolitan areas, have more restrictions because people live close together and there are many more people. Therefore, it is easier to spread the virus in these large cities. For example, the New York metro area has a very high number of coronavirus cases, as you can imagine. In such a gigantic city, with a population of more than 21 million people in all of these urban areas around New York City, it is very, very difficult to stop the virus from spreading. My little sister lives in Baltimore, Maryland, which is a big city, not as big as New York, but a big city with about 620,000 people. So Baltimore, like New York, has strict rules telling people to stay home. Other members of my family and some of my friends live in rural areas or smaller cities. Most businesses are closed and people are staying home, but some people in these areas are continuing to go about their daily lives as much as possible. Many schools in many parts of the United States are now closed, like here in Spain, and some schools are going to stay closed until the end of the year. The government ordered schools in many states to close and is not going to permit them to open again. The United States now has more confirmed cases of coronavirus than any other country in the world. The question of whether or not to continue a strict quarantine or begin to reopen the country is now a very controversial topic. I want to end this short presentation with a listening challenge and some tips for continuing to practice English during quarantine. Fortunately, it is now easier than ever to learn a foreign language from home. So even though we have to stay home in quarantine, there are still many, many wonderful ways to continue practicing English. One great way to help improve your English is by consuming media in English. For example, this could be Netflix or YouTube videos in English, or finding news in English online, and you can read it or watch it and listen to it. So as an extra challenge for this lesson, I'm going to include a link to a video on YouTube about coronavirus. It is very short. It is less than 2 minutes long, but it is a great way to practice your English from home. So one great thing about watching videos, especially videos like this, is that you have several tools for improving your English. One, for this video, it's about coronavirus, so you know the context. You know the context of what the person is talking about. Two, the video is short. It's not too long, So it gives you a good amount of information to take in without giving you too much information. One advantage of using something like videos is you can add subtitles, and in YouTube you can also go to the bottom of the screen and adjust the speed. So if the person speaks too quickly, you can slow the video down so that you can understand it better. And you can use subtitles as well. In this video, some words might be new, and you might be surprised by how many things you understand. So again, I will finish this presentation with just this advice to, in your spare time, try to now and then look at things in English. Again, the internet has all the information in the world, so take advantage of this time to maybe explore English in more creative ways. And I hope the video I include a link to will offer you another way to take in English during the quarantine. Okay, stay home, stay safe, and I'll see you later.